everyone. Welcome to Babies with Knives. Today we're going to be playing Hit the Streets, Defend the Block with creator Rich Rogers as our GM.
Hooray!
I'm your host, Alice Peng, aka Lala Twiddle on the boards. And with me today is Brandon Powers.
Howdy, howdy.
Our buddy Nick Garber, who is now an official Babies with Knives admin, by the way.
I am. Don't bring me your problems. I don't know how to solve them.
Yes, I'm the tech support, apparently, as well. And apparently...
But the ban hammer is always ready.
Apparently, Balder successfully saved Walt from the bear. So we have Walt Robillard with us.
You guys are all hallucinating.
Oh, so you're not really here. Okay,
Nope.
good to know.
Well, I am drinking Irish coffee, so...
Well, Rich, why don't you take it away?
Than coffee?
It's like a 70-30 mix.
Thanks so much, Alice. So, real quick plug, if this game interests you, it is currently on Kickstarter. You are more than welcome to come back it. It is a Kickstarter specifically to have professional layout of the already done game. So as soon as you back, you get access in the updates to the Google Doc, which we're running the game from. So it's fully functional, kind of like Data, but different because this is about street level supers. And Walt was unable to join us for the character creation, which is totally cool. There are three pre-generated characters that are examples of how to make a superpowered being, which is what I call a player character in this game. And Walt has chosen Chilled. So, Walt, tell us a little bit about your interpretation of Chill.
I haven't had a lot of time to think of my interpretation. I was going to write this one into the dark and see what happened, but Chilled is is the driver of an ice cream truck. You know, because that's everybody's dream job, especially when they're named Joe. Yes, I do not have the cool mask in order to
Go on.
Especially when they're named Joey Monteleone. He drives an ice cream truck, like a food truck, but better.
That guy couldn't get more Italian if he tried.
Right? I don't know if I'll be able to use that voice the entire time just because of the fact that that drives me nuts. And then we'll see where we take it from there. But thank you for the opportunity for letting me play.
I'm happy to have you here, Walt. So, Joey has the ice cream truck, but he also has power. So he has substance control over ice, which makes it great for an ice cream truck. And he's a gadgeteer, so you're good at creating cool gadgets on the moment. Now, just so you're aware, Walt, in this game, you can on the spot say, "Oh yeah, I've got a gadget that does that," and as long as it's not untoward or weird, then bam, you're going to pull that power in. So don't be afraid to come up with interesting things on the spot that Chilled has cooked up in the back of his ice cream truck.
Oh, don't you threaten me with a good time. Yep.
The tagline is, it's like a food truck, but cooler.
I was just going by
that's
what was
good.
on the title card, man. I'm just playing my part.
Oh, I'm the only one having
and
an
I'll
official
just give you-
character portrait. I know what I look like, though. I'll describe it.
Yeah, I found a picture for La Llorona, our ghost character, and of course Bengali has his own art, and Chilled came with some art. So Mirror, I looked all over Alice for a good 10-15 minutes for Mirror Sword. I found pictures of Mirror Master, but just didn't think that was quite going to work for your character.
Gee, Alice, it's too bad you don't have a comic book artist at your disposal that would draw things for you.
Hey, to be fair,
we are still waiting for Freya Fawn as well as the Liberty Legion. So,
well,
and
some pictures can be drawn quicker than others.
Well, I'll try and make sure I am more on top of you on that in the future. But
Whoa! This is a children's show.
It's definitely not a children's show.
I'm going to be dressed a bit like Red Riding Hood, with a red dress, a sweetheart cut top, and I've got a sword, a great sword basically, that is made out of shattered glass mirrors, basically put together, smelted together. So it's got interesting angles on it beyond just a plain sword. And I never wear my hood up though. I leave my hair down and the hood down, which I believe I said
Okay.
I am going to be red-haired. Yep, I am I'm that barely red-haired, and so you at work they
Right.
call me Red.
Good deal. Sorry, my connection's a little crappy. Oh, that's a pretty cool pick. So it looks like I'm bouncing between red and green. So I apologize for that.
Not your fault.
So what we're going to do is update the map with where Joey Monteleone lives, and then we can kick in to play some scenes. We got to know where you're at first and foremost. So if you check the links in our little Discord convo here, you should see one called Hit the Streets Map. Do you see?
Oh yeah, I'm already there.
Oh, fantastic. So
This is one of the coolest parts of this game.
Well, we haven't played any of the other parts, but this one was awesome.
No, but just like the map creation, so like
Yeah.
you can look at him like, okay, I'm doing this, and once we actually get into the gameplay, I'll maybe a different opinion depending how well I do. But the map creation I thought was really cool from the set.
Thanks.
It was.
Thanks.
It really was. The more I thought about it, the more I really liked it.
Great. So all you have to do is, if you look on the little menu, there's a select line. You can either draw a straight line or a scribble, which allows you to draw something, not exactly a straight line. We need you to draw a street. This is the street that Joey lives on. And then we need to know, is it like a house, an apartment? Where is it? Like, what's the place that he lives in? And if you could cross Main Street, that would be fantastic.
If it could cross Main Street?
Yeah, cross or touch Main Street. That would be good.
Let's say we live in the Heights. Yeah, because that sounds nice.
Ooh, someone else living up in the Heights. Sounds good.
Because the kid's got money for the ice cream truck.
The Heights is the worst of the places that are already here. By the way,
Yeah.
this
That's
is
what I figured.
Oh wow, I was looking. I was thinking of Amble Park. My bad.
Yeah, that's where my character lives, and it is not a good neighborhood at all.
Oh, cool. Well, if you want to live in the Heights, then you don't have to do any more work, Walt. That's perfectly fine.
Come on, Walt. Jeez, you're just skimping on
You
work.
can always live in Royal Oaks Plaza, next to me.
So yeah, I think the Heights is going to work for me. Because where else am I going to park my truck?
Not in the Heights if you want to keep it.
Now, the story of every comic book caper ever.
Yeah. We're going to
Somebody
steal the
stole
ice
his
cream
truck.
truck and get all the cool ice. I don't think they keep diamonds in there, man. Hey, shut up. Who's running this job?
That's what they want you to think.
That's what you want you to think. That's the perfect place to be hiding jewels, man.
I think all you guys are.
All you guys.
Yeah, all you guys. I think all you guys are secretly trying to be chilled.
All yous guys.
Yeah, they're jealous. They're jealous of Joey Monteleone. All right. Well, now that we know where Chill lives, where did you end up? Did you end up going ahead and sticking with the Heights, or did Nick talk you into Royal Oaks?
Did Nick talk me into what?
Mick wants you to be his neighbor, Mr.
Oh yeah,
Rogers style,
I can be
Royal
his
Oaks.
neighbor. It's fine.
Okay, so you guys are both in Royal Oaks. I will make a note of that. Fantastic. So we can jump into some scenes. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to start off with you guys in your day-to-day and get to know a little bit about what you do out when you're not wearing your costume or your mask. You're not being a vigilante, but it may lean into some threats that are happening in your block in Lower Eden. We're going to start off at the San Diego Police Department Precinct 5. And that, of course, is where Bengali works. Bengali in his normal guise as Benito Vasquez, or Benny. So
Yes.
tell me a little bit about where Benny works in the precinct. Like, when he's not sketching people, does he have an office, a cubicle?
He does have an office. He is the lead sketch artist. There is a team of sketch artists, but he's the lead sketch artist. And he works up in the same floor as the detective units. So your SVUs, major crimes, theft, larceny and extortion, murder or homicide, things like that.
Is it like CSI where you lead your sketch artists out into the world to actually solve sketch crimes?
No, we try and
That sounds very
that would
sketchy, Walt.
actually happen. And branded with the puns. Oh, that should be a villain for you one day, Pun Master.
Cool. So then I imagine that, and I'm totally leaning into The Wire, there's probably a huge board up where all the detectives have to mark any of the murderers, right? And
Actually,
trying to
you know
stay
what?
out of the red.
I have an image. Let me see if I can track it down real quick. Yeah.
While he's tracking that down, quick note: I see that you've got a name. I actually named my son Angelo.
Oh,
And,
okay. I can
The
switch.
daughter
that over.
was Karina.
Okay.
All right, cool. And the story progresses. Love it.
I decided not to be one of those dick parents that, you know, the son would be Angelo and the daughter would be Angel. Or Angela.
Let's see here. Print ready. Did I have images? I do. Okay.
Should we move on and we can circle back to it?
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's go.
All right, cool. So, Benny is bilingual? Just checking
Yes,
to
he
make
is.
sure. Okay, fantastic. So, so detective, let's see, what's a nice little boring name that we have? Detective Carver comes up to you and says, hey, Benny, we got a lady downstairs. We have a little trouble. It's broken English. Maybe you can help out. She said that she saw somebody dump off a few bodies, and we're trying to get a sketch of the person that she saw. All right?
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you guys need.
Good. Cool. So head down. You see that that there's a desk, and one of the lady. There's a Latino lady, Latina, who's sitting there. She's got a large purse. Her clothes are a little out of fashion, a little threadbare, a little worn. And you can see that she has no jewelry or adornments other than her colorful dress. And she looks very nervous. She seems to be looking around. She's very uncomfortable here. And Detective Carver leads you over, and he says, "Se llamo es Benny." And she looks and says, thank you. And she's speaking in Spanish, fluently in Spanish. And she says, can you help me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I can. Of course, I'm speaking in Spanish. I'm like, see,
Cool. So in the comic, right, you guys are speaking, and then
Yeah.
You're speaking in English, but then we have a little asterisk thing translated from Spanish kind of deal. And she says, last night I was traveling to work, walking to work, and I went past and saw at a dumpster there was someone who was dumping two bodies, and I don't have a phone, so I came here, but I'm afraid that I will get in trouble but I did not know what else to do.
Well, you did the right thing, ma'am. You came over here. Once we get you describe what the person looked like, I'll draw it down. I'll give it to the detectives. And if you are in fear of your life, the detectives will be able to provide some protection, at least an escort and maybe a couple of marked units outside of your place. They're very professional here. And Detective Carver, one of the best.
No, I don't want that. I don't need that. And you get a feeling there's something she's hiding, very, very nervous about. Like she wants to give you this information, but she's probably going to ghost or take off. What do you do?
Okay. Well, I hear Bengali. I actually hear the entity of Bengali in my head saying she's hiding something.
Nice.
Pressure for more.
Cool. Well, why don't you do that? All right. Let's have our first roll of the game. This is it.
Woohoo!
Dice rolls are happening. It's a role playing game. It's ROLL playing, right?
Love it.
Right?
Love it.
Okay,
Welcome
cool.
back,
So
Walt.
we-
Do you want us to use actual dice, or do you want to use that roll for party
Is-
that you linked?
totally up to you. The roll for your party is just there in case you don't have physical dice. If you want to roll the dice, that's fine too. I like the roll for your party because I can see them and I can kind of celebrate, and also we'll probably be on the video capture. But if you'd rather roll physical dice, I'm not going to get in your way about it.
Okay, so I would probably be using what, jaw for?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll start off with your team roll being a wild one. I don't think that applies here. You're having a conversation. This is normal, right? Normal people can do this.
Right.
So you're being normal and you're using jaw. So then you've got 1 from be normal and then 2 from jaw. So you've got 3 dice that you start off with on this roll. She's used to keeping her mouth shut. So you're going to need a good success to be able to talk, to get her trust.
To
she'll need-
influence and get her open up.
Exactly. So you need
Perfect.
3 evens on that. Now, you can, if you want, you can spend some of your spark to try to boost your roll. Because 3 successes on 3 6-sided, or you've got 3 6-sided dice, and you got to get 3 successes. Your chances aren't super great.
Okay, so I rolled these die 3 times.
The same die?
Is that
No, you're going to roll 3 different 6-sided dice one time,
Okay.
and then look for
Okay.
evens on the results of all 3 of those dice. Good
Okay.
question.
All right.
So, do you want to spend any spark to have more dice? It's
Uh,
a 1 for 1.
No, I think I'm not gonna use any spark on this. I'm just
Okay.
gonna roll the straight die just to kind of see how the
Alrighty,
dynamic
go
works.
for it.
All right, here we go. And I'm looking for evens, and I rolled 2 6s and a 1. So
Oh, so close, so close. Oh, man. All right, well, with 2 successes, you would have been successful if this were typical. But because she's a little more nervous, you fail to gain her confidence. And then she says, "Oh, okay, yes. I tell you where I live. I live in Royal Oaks Plaza." And you have a feeling she's lying. But that's the best that you're going to get out of her. And if you realize if you push any harder, she may just make up an excuse and leave. So
she's lying. We've never seen her there.
that's right.
Gollum. I gotta find a voice for Bengali.
Well, it's the perfect time to start testing that out. So
What about like Rip Taylor?
what do you want to do?
Oy vey, she's lying to you. You're not gonna take that, are you?
Actually, I actually had a voice come across my head when I was reading that comic book. I'll tell you about it later.
Give it to me now. Maybe I can mimic it. I'm good with.
Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Oh yes, darling.
I actually need to go find the video for it then because I don't remember the actor's name.
Okay,
I'll try and
cool.
find it.
All right.
We'll see.
So you're not gonna imitate it for us?
She's lying. She doesn't have a voice. She's making it up.
Ragnarok, wrong universe.
All right. So what do you want to do?
Okay. I'm just going to kind of nod my head. I'm like, oh, Royal Oaks. Okay, yeah, nice place. Why don't you just start describing how the person that you saw looked?
So she starts describing this person who also Latino, is younger, is well built, and you start drawing, and we do a couple panels of you drawing and giving you everything, and then when you're done, you show her that she says, "Yes, that's the man who had the bodies," and you recognize the facial features. They look so much like your friend Constacia, but younger, a male. But you can see the
resemblance.
there's a family resemblance there. And she says, you will find the man who murdered those people? Yes?
Oh, of course, yeah. That's what we do here.
Good. They were wearing the uniform of the place, the big factory, both of them. So perhaps you find them there. I'm going to go back to Royal Oaks now. Thank you so much for your help.
No, thank you, ma'am. I'm gonna give this to the detectives, and they'll get to work on this. Be safe, okay?
Okay. And then she will take off and leave you with your thoughts. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to go talk to Detective Carver and give him the sketch and my impression of the encounter.
Okay. And real quick, you share the information. Carver's sitting on his desk. He's eating a burger. He takes a look at the sketch and he's like, okay, it's not bad. It's not your best work though, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's good. We'll figure it out. Still though, if they work at Ditko, we're gonna hit a lot of corporate lawyers, man. I really wish we didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Carver. You talk about my drawings again, I'm going to tell your wife that you're eating that burger when you're supposed to be on a diet.
What? I'm on a diet. I'll go throw it up later. It's like, it's a liquid diet. It's fine.
So,
It's fine.
Nick, I just sent you the information. I had to go look up his name.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Bloop. I love technology.
Awesome. So, anything else you wanted to do right now in this current scene, Nick, with Bengali, aka Benny?
I don't have any other actions that I can think of right now that I want.
Sounds good. That was just a quick intro scene to get an idea of what your day-to-day work life is like. So we're going to jump over to, not going to quite go to Sunny Bray Elementary yet. I'm excited because we stuck little kids in the map now, so it looks like an elementary school.
Awesome.
Although one of them standing way too close to the road, I just want to say, I don't know if you guys have fences or very nervous about that. We're going to start at the Greasy Spoon, the Greasy Spoon, where Costacia is working. This is your day-to-day job, your mundane job as a waitress at. Say it again for me, because I'll screw it up if I don't hear it once.
I'm certain Walt will do it better, but El Griense.
Is that good
Walt?
enough? Is that how it
That's not
goes?
bad. I'll take it.
Hey, Walt, you want to do
That's
his
how a
character's-
non-native speaker would say it. Yeah.
Do you want to do Brandon's character's name for us?
La Llorona, that one.
Yep.
Attaboy.
La Llorona. And how would you say that name of the
La
thing?
Griense, yeah, that's good. Yeah, he had it. He nailed it.
Awesome.
Stuck the landing with a 9.5, got screwed by the East German judge. You know how it goes.
God damn these Germans. Every time.
Oh, freedom. All right, cool. So
Damn straight.
tell me a little bit about Constacia's day-to-day. What's it like working at this Greasy Spoon? What's the worst thing about working at this particular restaurant? Is it the clientele? Is it the people you work with? Is it
The
conditions?
spoons.
The spoons.
That I clean them all day, and they just never get clean.
It never ends.
And they're so
Yeah.
slippery.
The job is a bad place to work. That she's got, just a manager who takes certain liberties with the employees that are there. She's feels that it's kind of like the only place that she can go to get a job. With it being English as a second language. And the people that come by, a lot of them are from the not great neighborhood. A lot of them are involved in some of the crimes that go on and such. It's not the Greasy Spoon Diner that the cops are hanging out on by any means.
Most people know Christopher Lee.
People know
Cool.
Christopher Lee?
Oh, did that show up?
Yeah, that came through. I think through your mic.
Oh,
Yeah, we heard you a
my
little bit.
bad.
I
I was trying to watch a video so I could get his voice down. I didn't know it was going to show up on here.
But I heard what I was telling him was that his unmasked voice sounded kind of to me like this, smoker, 1920s, Dick Tracy kind of guy when I was reading it, and then the Bengali voice in my head was Christopher Lee.
Now, I'm going to have to figure a way so that doesn't go through when I'm researching
You're
this. Oops.
Cool.
So that's what it's like at the at El Griense.
All right.
I love the way you say it, Brendan. El Griense. Like Brad Pitt speaking German.
So let me grab a name for the boss who takes advantage, takes liberties with some of the employees. We'll say that the guy's name. It's my little name book, but those are way too cool, so we got to give him a crappier. No, can't use that one. Yeah, we'll say his name's Ralph. That's a nice.
I'm still going to use that from now on. Every time my wife orders something, they always screw her name up on whatever they write on. So I always say, when they ask to spell her name, I always spell Doug, which is totally not her name, by the way.
Doug.
All right. So we're going to say that Ralph Cooper is the manager of this Greasy Spoon. A lot of your clientele from Ditko, since you guys are just a walk away, you think it's cheap enough for a lot of the people who happen to get off work will come that way and stop by? Does that feel like a rush
Yeah.
you guys might? Cool.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Again, my internet connection is not great, so cool.
Okay, cool. I thought it was on my end because it's usually on my end.
No, it seems like it is completely on Rich's end today.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if he would like to go and reboot his router or something, and we can wait. But
Might be a good idea. Although I go green and then I pop to red and then yellow again. Let me. I'm sorry. I want to make sure I can hear you guys and sound
sure,
okay.
go ahead and
So let
reboot.
me
I'll just
drop
pause the
off. I'll be-
recording while you're gone. Now,
Cue Republica, ready to go.
your go.
I love
All
that
right,
song.
so we have Ralph Cooper, who is the manager of La Granza, and he takes liberties with some of your coworkers. You guys are currently just finished up with a rush from one of the shifts at Ditko. The shifts had gotten out, and folks will walk back to wherever they are, or they may decide to meet up here. You guys are half a block away, so I imagine that most of the folks that you get coming by or walking into the Greasy Spoon are from Ditko, and it's things start to calm down a little bit. It's a little bit of that post rush where you start trying to clean up and get things to the back. And Ralph, he looks over at you and he says, "Costacia, hey, come back here. I need to talk."
I come back cleaning my hands on towel, senor.
Yeah. And he heads back to his little office, which has got a built-in built-in desk with a crappy laptop that's just a step above a Chromebook. And he says, "Here, pull a chair. Come in, sit down. I want to talk to you about this rush. How you?"
Okay, I pull up the chair, looking a little nervous at him wanting to talk to me.
And he's got he has to work too, right? So he's got a little bit like a big sweat ring around his neck and his pits, and he turns halfway and he says, "You're a hard worker, but things aren't going so good for the dime. I'm thinking I may have to let somebody go. What do you think about that, Constache?"
Senor, everyone work very hard here. Everybody, we are short all the time already. From when I started, we already have to cover an extra section between us.
Yeah, but you get by. You guys get by. If I have to come up and take a couple orders, what do you think? That one guy. Do you think maybe we'll let him go? I don't like the way he talks to customers.
He is young. He can learn. This is a good job for him. It will teach him responsibility, how to live on his own.
Yeah, but he's always having his friends come by and they take up a booth. They hardly order any. I think he should go. Yeah.
I can talk to him. I can tell him that if his friends come, they need to order, and they need to order for they can only stay so long before they have to order more. Not just drinks, but food, la comida.
All right, let's see if you can talk him into keeping on, Guillaume. So let's have you make a roll. So it's kind of typical. He's just talking right now. So your number of successes, you'll need 2 successes.
All right, so be normal. It sounds like jaw. So 1 for being normal, 3 for jaw. It does sound like I am staying true to that moral center on
Absolutely.
the roll.
Yep,
Okay.
I agree. So that gives you a total of 5 dice. Do you want to spend any of that copious amount of spark that you have to get you more dice?
Walt, what happened to your spark, man? God.
I don't know what happened to my spark.
You started low. You started low with Monteleone. He's on bad. He's having a bad way. We'll get better. I'm sure he'll be fine.
All right. Was it evens or was it highs in this game?
It is evens.
Evens. I'm going to stick with my 5.
Okay.
I am 66613.
Holy cats, that is great. So you absolutely exceed the difficulty. And he turns, he looks at you when you make that offer, and he smiles. He says, you know, you really care. You really care about this place. And he reaches down and he pats your knee, and his hand stays there for a moment. And he says, you take Yum under your wing. If everything gets better, I don't know, I'll cut some corners on some other things to keep everybody on. Okay?
I still want to put this guy in an ice cream refrigerator.
He pats your knee one more time, and then he kind of scoots back. And of course, you've got a folding chair that's not at all comfortable. His is like one of those manager chairs, like, you know, it's got arms on it. It's a little older, it creaks a little bit, but it looks super comfy.
Yeah.
He says,
I'm just going to try and get up and excuse myself out of the room as quickly as possible at that. You know.
Okay. He turns around and he opens up his little laptop there and he starts tapping away. And when you come out, there are like 3 waitresses and Guillaume are all just they were staring at the office. And they all look away and get back to work and everything when you step out. What do you do? There's maybe like 5 or 6 employees. There's more employees than there are customers here right now. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. I make certain to close the door. And you're saying Guillermo for the name?
Guillermo. Yeah, Guillermo.
Okay. Every time, like you say it, it hiccups for just half a second or something. And so I've gotten
Discord.
Yes, I've gotten different parts of it, and I pieced it together to be Guillermo.
Good man.
I go over to Guillermo in Spanish, and I start talking to him, and so I'm like call him hijo for son, if I remember my Spanish correctly.
Yes.
And pardon me on any of my Spanish. It's over 20 years out of date. And so I start talking to him. Hijo, the manager, he's looking at getting rid of one of us again. Your friends, they make him very nervous. They come in, they don't buy anything. They take up a booth. He thinks that they don't need to be here unless they're going to buy.
Tia, come on. He calls you auntie. Tia, they're my friends. Where else are they going to go? There's nothing to do. The police are everywhere. At least this place is safe.
I know, but they need to order something when they're here. I want you to stay here. I want them to stay here. And sometimes we're not so busy. Maybe we can sneak them in at that point. Get them a little something. If they split a plate of food between them.
Okay. I'll talk to them. Okay. I will.
Okay. You're a good boy, Guillermo.
You didn't let him touch you, did you?
I stopped for a moment, and then I'm like, no, he did not.
Okay. You tell me, Tia, if he touch you, we don't like it.
I look over and I mumble something under my breath. I hope she chose it, Nick, on that facepalm. I look over and I mumble, something under my breath of, basically just bad man, in Spanish.
Yeah. he gets back and pulls up his little, his bussing stuff where he has to bus tables, and he gets back to work and he nods kind of angrily. Yeah. So, wiping down tables. Anything else you wanted from the diner scene?
No, that's great.
All right. Good. So let's jump over to Sunny Bray Elementary. And I thought this could be fun. Like, we'll start off with getting to know you as a teacher, and maybe the ice cream truck shows.
Alice, you're not coming through.
Sorry. Sounds good. Awesome.
Okay. So you are a first grade teacher, is that right?
Yes.
Joanna Mayer?
Yes, Joanna Mayer.
Right.
And with
what
the kids,
are some of the...
Sorry,
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I just want to know, like, what are some of the things that we see on the wall of your classroom? Like, this is your classroom. You've made it exactly the way you want within budget. So what are some of the things that we see up on the wall?
Well,
McGruff the crime dog.
we have construction paper cutouts of the alphabet up along the top of the wall. I have a lot of art that is done by the kids, as well as my home cricket with vinyl and such like that, and it's very hand decorated by myself and my students, and I'll keep stuff from year to year as best I can, try and make space, but this way, there's still stuff from years ago when my students decide to come back and visit me. So
nice. So Sunny Bray Elementary, I imagine that because Ditko Industrial Complex is just so huge, that it's over full. Like, it's the nicer elementary, but you had to take on a little bit extra.
Yeah.
Do you have enough clout as a new teacher? Do you have enough clout where you haven't been moved out to one of the kind of trailer classrooms?
I think I do, but they overflow fill my classroom, so I actually don't even have enough desks for all the students. And so for some of these students, we get extra chairs in, and I just kind of have to crowd them around, or I've had to go about being creative in segmenting my class up a bit and saying, well, this time grab like 5 or 10 students and have them sit on the carpet and do an activity, and therefore there's enough desks, and then trade them out for other students and cycle them in shifts, so that way, since the classroom doesn't have enough space for the desks.
So you've had to be very creative in trying to find space for everyone, but it seems to be working out. Cool. So, of course, being a Sunny Bray, there's a healthy mix of probably like 70% non-Latino, 30% Latino. Number of the Latino kids who come in here don't speak English very well. What's the hardest part of trying to get these guys to integrate that you've dealt with so far?
The hardest part to get them to integrate would probably be trying to get them to understand the concept of cooperation, because kids at times they don't like to share. Yeah. So
what about like the food that the Latino community is bringing in that maybe the people that live up on your Ivory Hill don't understand?
Well, it's a pretty diverse. We're talking about a pretty diverse area, so the food is actually pretty understood by comparison, is my impression. But trying to explain, no, these crayons aren't yours. You need to share it with the other kids. Trying to do that with language barriers, especially since, based on what you're describing, it sounds like we live in a pretty diverse area. So it's not just that there's 30% Latino and the rest not, but among the 70% that aren't, there's a mix of different ethnicities, and so I kind of have had to pick up a word in this language, a word in that language, and try my best to mash them together to explain. And I can picture, me running around trying to pronounce a word in one language and then trying to pronounce a different word in a different language sometimes.
I like it. Cool. So you talked a lot about in the character creation that you read a lot of fables and a lot of stories. Do you have a story time for your...
Yes. Like I said, when I have the kids sitting around on the floor, and there are class parents and such that are forced to come in and volunteer, and so I have
Forced to come in and volunteer. Okay.
She's speaking from her school experience. Her school apparently.
As a parent,
Actually,
who's
I'm
been
speaking-
voluntold, I'm speaking from that experience as well.
I'm speaking from the fact that I actually did research and spoke to 2 of my school teacher friends about the fact that I'm going to be playing this character. So I got a list of
Nice.
information. I have friends.
Wasn't challenging you. I just heard that comment and found it quite interesting. That's cool.
So, but they are literally elementary school teachers. So I was like, I need some help. I'm going to be doing this. And luckily they post enough throughout the year that I pick up stuff. So, so yeah, the parents, a big part of their duty other than watching over snack time is to tell stories when I'm unavailable to, around the carpet and, when they're sitting in the round circle activities. And so when I'm dealing with the kids at the desk, the kids at the around the rug are being told stories, and then I will try and take shifts telling stories as well from books and such as much as I can.
What is the story that you're telling today as we get to kind of see you in action as the storyteller?
Magical Land of Yeld. Magical Land of Yeld.
Given thematics, I'm going to say today I am telling a version of Little Red Riding Hood.
Nice. Cool. So you have, I would say after a while, the entire class has started to kind of crowd around and listen. But, I mean, this is the thing you do, Joanna. You are the great storyteller. In fact, let's see how well you pull this off.
Okay.
Let's say that it's a typical difficulty to entertain your class and keep them happy.
Okay.
Let's see how well you pull that off today.
Okay, so this would be Jaw.
Yeah.
I'm not that great at Jaw.
You are not.
I'm good with kids, but I'm not good with adults, so I took 1 in Jaw.
All right.
What else can I add to this? Is the question.
Well, we start with the mode, and I think telling stories is something that any normal person can do. Yes. Do you think you're manipulating them? Because that's your team role?
I definitely think that when you're telling stories, you are manipulating people because you are embedding subconscious seeds. So yes, definitely.
All right, so that's 3 dice that you have.
Okay.
And then the difficulty is 2 evens. Do you want to spend any spark to give yourself some?
No, but could I flag tools in any way on this? Because I am using a book and I'm pointing at pictures and I'm saying, stuff like, and Little
So
Red
you
Riding
use
Hood
one
went down.
stat or the other. If you feel like you're leaning heavier on
I would say tools,
the
then.
book, then I'm okay with that.
Okay, I will use
So
the
then you
book.
have 5 dice.
So you're only a mediocre storyteller, but you just have an awesome book.
Yes, I have an awesome book. You said I needed 2 successes?
2 evens.
I got 2 evens. I got a 2 and a 4, and the rest were odds.
Very lucky. But that's all you needed. So their eyes, they are wrapped with attention as you tell the story. Really is the book that's selling it. I think that your charisma isn't as important as your ability to utilize to help convey the story of Little Red Riding Hood. I think that there's one little girl, kind of, she's in pigtails. She moves over and she points out the little red hood. Oh, the wood! She jumps back and squeals, and all the kids laugh. And then she said, "You wear a hood? You wear a hood, Miss Mare? Miss Mare, are you the hood? Are you?"
No, I don't wear a hood. See? I turn around and show her I'm just wearing a dress. I don't wear a hood.
Oh, but if I remember, like, does she ever wear like a because you said something about
in the superhero outfit.
Superhero, but not as Joanna. Okay,
right.
Okay. Yeah, so they'll say, "Oh, okay. Well, maybe we get her a big red hoodie." One of the kids says, "Yeah, let's get her a red hoodie. My mom has one of those." And they start talking back and forth excitedly, but you've kind of pacified them for a bit until they hear the music of the ice cream truck. So, Joey, what is the song that your ice cream truck is playing?
La Cucaracha.
Nope.
Van Halen Ice Cream Man.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too.
I will
Well
survive.
played, sir. Well
Yep.
played.
Nice.
I'm driving and heads bobbing, pointing to all the moms who are probably staring at me. So,
Because you're so hot.
Funny.
Nice.
Honey, the baby looks a lot like the ice cream man.
Shh, hush your mouth, hush your mouth.
So the kids all get excited. They start kind of bouncing up and down. You know that this is Joey's ice cream truck. You guys have been in the team together, so he knows who you are. You know who he is, and you're normal, mundane guys. Do you let them go out and get something from the ice cream truck? Joanna?
Yes, I do. Sorry. I would actually say let everyone get up and let's have some playground time and if they have the money, actually I tend to help and buy treats for the kids that don't have the money for it.
Good call. You just averted a possible tragedy, or
Kids
scuffle.
shanked on the playground.
That's
But-
it.
But
Hey, it was a thing.
let them have a small little treat. It's a nice day out. It's a warm day, and I'm going to let them run around the playground and blow off some of that energy before we go back into the classroom. Because
Is this a thing where they
cramped
come out in
classroom.
an orderly single
we do a
file
dance.
line?
Yeah, we have this. I'm in the front of the chain, and the class mom is at the back of the chain, and they all have to hold hands with the person in front of them, behind them, and then we dance our way out so that we make a fun game of it for the little ones.
Nice.
So the rich kid that gets ice cream first, he gets his ice cream. He comes back. He looks at one of the poor Latino kids. He's like, "I got some ice cream. You ain't got no ice cream. You can't afford it. Your father's an alcoholic."
Man, I thought we were
Sure.
going to keep personal lives out of this.
I make sure that I did not wash my hands before I handed him out.
I thought you were a superhero, you supervillain.
I will sanitize heavily after that, but that douche is gonna get whatever comes to him. I hope he gets a staph infection.
Wow, he's in first grade. Oh my goodness.
Yep, that'll serve him. Hopefully he'll straighten his little ass out.
Okay.
That's funny.
So,
So
the
I start
kids all
handing out
come-
ice cream to the rest of the kids. Okay, we got one for you. We got one for you. Hey, honey, how you doing? Yeah, no, just for the kid. Later. I got one for you. Hey, you take the package off before you eat it.
But it tastes good.
I waved to Joanna in the yard.
How you doing?
No, not like that. Teammates.
She
So,
waves back, and she's a little mousy. In all the interactions you've had with her, she always waves at you from the distance, but she never comes up and talks to you.
Hey, kid, you with the thing on his face. No, the other kid with the thing.
No, the
Come
other-
here.
The other kid.
Hey, listen, take this. I want you to bring this over to your teacher. Hey, don't argue with me. I will get out of this truck and slap the white off your teeth. Get over there.
Cue
So,
Bette
yeah,
Midler from a distance.
He ambles over and takes Joanna her ice cream. And there are a couple of the kids
And I wave a
that,
thank you from the distance.
there are a couple of the kids that kind of hang near you, and because you're the ice cream man. Do they know that if there are problems, that you take care of those problems, or is that a thing you do without any of the kids being aware?
Some of them might suspect, I would think. Holy crap, I saw the ice cream man beat up that guy on Figueroa and 4th. It's like, oh, God, okay.
Nice. So a couple of the kids are sitting there. One's eating like the Mickey Mouse, the big. He eats one of the ears, and he go, "Hey, did you hear there were dead bodies? My grandma, she saw dead bodies.
Like pigeons, they hit the windows and then they fall on the ground. Is that what you're talking about, kid?
No, people." And then one of the
People
other
hit the
kids,
windows and then they fell on the ground.
and they.
I run over to the little kids, and I'm concerned about them making a big issue about this, and scaring everybody. So I'm trying to calm the kids down. Why don't we go and talk about this later?
Hey, Teach, did you know about the dead pigeons hitting the people on the ground?
I
Dead
shake,
people.
What an awesome game of telephone!
I shake my head. No.
All right, so he's talking that dead people are hitting pigeons. What the shit is going on here, lady? Oh, am I not supposed to swear around kids?
Yeah.
Because like that's a thing. Do they?
Please don't.
Hey guys, do you swear?
I'll have a talk with their parents.
One of the girls says, "Oh, my stepdad cusses all the time. It's cool." And another kid says, "I watch HBO."
And I start trying to rally the kids back inside now. I think we've had enough ice cream.
So, do we all know that each other is?
We
really
know our secret
you guys
identities,
know
yes.
Yeah,
I call Benny.
And you know
Ooh,
that
nice.
when
Benny and the Jets.
you know that when I'm actually a superhero, I behave very differently than when I behave like as in my day-to-day life. For some reason, I'm really mousy around adults and I can't talk to people. But as a superhero, I can talk.
Superhero.
The whole idea of empowered behind a mask, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so
Nick, you're
after the
sounding like a
kids take
Cylon.
off. Yeah. Okay, good. It wasn't.
Yeah, you sound like a Cylon.
You sound like a toaster.
Oh, good.
Yeah, this is
A
hot.
slow-mo toaster.
This is working for me, Nick.
All right, well, we can see.
That's Bengali's voice.
Yes.
There we go. There we go.
You're going to have to listen to this recording at this point.
Yes, Nick, you are.
Gee whiz.
He sounds like he's powering down. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna have an asthma attack soon if I'm not careful.
Well, that's why every day game I do at least one attack, which gives me Wincy dice. Your health for extra combat.
Red
Does
Rover,
it still
Red
come
Rover,
Cylon?
Cylon right over.
Like seriously, like your mic is like breaking out, and like you have like this digital overlay to your voice.
So weird. I had a headset, and it's right now. So that's doing connect.
And you're killing Alice. I think.
Here comes. Wait for it. And goal!
Brandon, do you have an AED handy? Because you might need.
Maybe in.
We used to have the rule that when Alice was a laugh-induced asthma attack, it's rule number 1, no asthma attacks. And so we would see that, we'd realize that, and we'd start holding up our fingers for rule number 1. And literally, it got to the point sometimes that it had to be like heads down, or else she would just continue to laugh. Sometimes we had to vacate the room and leave her alone, or she would continue to laugh at us no matter what we were doing. So she could take her asthma medicine.
Let me out real quick and come back. That helps.
Oh my god, that was brilliant.
Okay.
Alice, you chased Nick away. Are you happy now?
Are you okay, Alice?
Yeah, I'm great. I'll just need a second to fix that.
Normalize.
Yeah, I'll just
The
need a
levels.
minute to for the medication.
Uh-oh. Yes.
But yeah, I'm good to go. Let's go.
Okay.
Is your cat trying to pick a fight with you, Walt?
Nope.
Is the dog?
Come on, up. No, you don't want to go up.
Hi, buddy! Hi, buddy!
He's like, excuse me, ass clown. This is normally our walk time.
Am I still all Cylon-y?
No!
Oh
He's
my
amazing.
god, there you are.
You're fine. You're
You're
back.
good.
I'm normal now? Okay,
Yes,
thank
you're
God.
normal.
I wouldn't use that word to describe you, Nick, but
I mean-
Normal-ish, perhaps? I'm sorry.
Normal people
So-
aren't named Fishbag.
So Joey is going to call Benny,
All right.
and when he finally picks up the phone, because he never picks up on the first ring, he's always so into his art.
I screen my calls.
he picks up on the third ring. It makes him seem cooler.
Yeah. Hey, I was just down at the school, and wait, you know who this is, right? Do you have the caller ID?
Yeah, and I got you down as chilled, because that's what we do.
Oh, good. So yeah, just broadcast that for anybody looking at the phone. Thanks, bro. So
Yeah,
anyway,
hey,
listen,
no problem. That's what I'm here for.
Listen, I was down at the school.
No, I got you
and
down as Joe, you mook.
You got me down as Joe Jamook? That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, well, it was better. It was either that or Joe Guinea, and I just figured that I would try and avoid the racial slurs here or the ethnic slurs.
Words hurt, bro. Words hurt. Listen, let me get on point, or we're never gonna get through this phone call. So, like, I was down at the school. You know the school?
Yes, I'm aware of the institution known as a school. Which one?
The one that Joanna works at.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Well, what
Right.
was going on over there?
Well, I was doing my thing. I was doing the ice cream thing, and you know how I like to keep my eyes open so that I can show you stuff. Because not show you stuff because like you're the one who draws, and I only do the like the looking around stuff, and then I call you, and then you like assemble the bat team, and then we all run out and we beat the shit out of people with ice cream. So like, I was down at the school, and these kids start talking about a dead body, or like they've seen dead bodies and pigeons. It was fucked up, dude. I didn't know what to think.
Dead bodies and pigeons? That is kind of fucked up. Where was it? It was over by the school that they saw the dead body, or?
Well, I don't know where they saw the dead bodies because Joanna was like doing her mother thing, and she like mother hen and mother goose those kids right back into the school immediately. I couldn't get
Totally
near
cut
them.
out your business.
Well, no, they already bought the ice cream, and then I got like two phone numbers for these hot moms.
Oh,
You know
that's
what I
good. We're gonna have to exchange notes. Okay, listen,
I got you.
I had a lady come in today that I had to sketch for because
Was she a hot mom?
Nah, she was like a grandmother, and she hardly spoke English.
She was
I hardly
like
speak
Constantia.
Spanish, so that was great. So, but she was talking about
was
a
she like
dead
a hot
body.
grandmom then? Because that age is only a thing, and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, you know what? She's totally your type, and I got her number. I'll pass it by.
That's fantastic.
Walt,
Ay, Dios mío.
I don't think it was mentioned to you that in the Team Generation, one of the questions was who calls the shots, and we said, let's stick Walt with this job.
Oh God.
De
So I think
facto leader.
Yeah, he calls the shots by like telling people that they do the stuff that makes things happen. So yeah, I think he's totally calling the shots.
So like,
And without knowing that he was the one calling the shots. He's
Yeah.
so
just
like, can you like walk down here? Like, do you have a car?
yeah, car. You want a 22 somewhere? You want to meet?
22.
Yeah, it's police lingo. Sorry. 1022 means you want to meet in
I
person.
serve freaking ice cream, right? So listen, do me a favor, right? Like, skip your little ass down here, right, and see if you can story time. Don't laugh, because I won't be able to keep it straight, right? So see if you can skip your see if you can skip your ass down here. Do story time with little Miss Joanna. Make sure the kids are there too, because otherwise that could get weird. And then.
It's not like I'm showing up as our masked friend here.
And then just, what do you call it? Maybe you can do some sketches or something like that. Draw the dead bodies and the pigeons.
Yeah, let me.
All I can think of is this is Ace's brother.
Aces was Irish.
I should have put more Irish whiskey in that coffee.
So can you do that? Story time, kids, pigeons, dead bodies, ice cream?
Yeah, what do you want me to do once I get there besides drawing pictures? Am I looking for something in particular or what? Or just kind of
Maybe they
keeping
can
my
give
ear
you
to
a
the ground?
picture. If they sit there and start blabbling, you know how kids are. Well, you get one talking, the rest of them just start, it's like verbal diarrhea every 30 seconds.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
just like get one of them talking, do that police thing that you do. And then what you can do is right from there, right? Once they start doing all that spewing shit, you just sit there and start drawing. Maybe you can actually draw a location, and that'll give you the dead body pigeons.
All right, and I'll run through my notes from the lady that I had today that was telling me about the dead body. I think they might be connected.
All right, text me that number. I'm out. And then I
Look
hang
it
up.
All right, so that phone call ends, and I think it might be good if we just jump forward a little bit of time. Did you want to follow up on Benny? Did you want to follow up Joey's lead there?
Yeah, I'm gonna catch one of the unmarks and head up to Joanna's school there.
All right, cool. Well, it's show and
Traffic's
tell
a bit of a
day.
bear, so it'll take me a minute to get there.
Is it career day today?
It must be career day. So you get a call, Joanna. We'll say that it's around in the afternoon. Maybe it's nearing nap time.
Okay.
First grade. I don't think they still do naps, but maybe it's quiet time.
Quiet time,
Quiet
sounds good.
reading and everything. Yeah, you have quiet time going on, and
Quiet retrospective time.
Its
Get a
teacher went out
call
for
from-
margaritas last night, time kids.
Oh, is that on a Monday? Because it's Margarita Monday.
And the admin calls and tells you have a visitor. The administrator, would she have any by like call him by name or just say you have a visitor? Like, does Joanna have visitors normally? Did these guys
No.
stop by here?
I
No.
mean,
Okay.
we recently became a superhero team, so I guess they recently started visiting, and it seems kind of odd to the administration since I'm all quiet loner and nobody around me. So this is probably his third or fourth visit, but does seem really odd to her that I have a visit again.
Mr. Vasquez is here to see you again. Is there
yeah.
anything I need to know about Joanna?
Absolutely.
I mean,
not.
you're welcome to talk to me if you've got a, question.
Gentleman caller.
No, I'm okay. Please let him know that. Please send him to my classroom. I'll meet him out in the hall.
So,
Joanna sounds hot.
And then-
I told you that the proper question when Walt said that he had visited her, what was she wearing?
come on now. Hold on.
Draw for those the
She's your teammate and friend.
draw those for the kids, eh?
Nick, you're the one that picked that character portrait, which is way underclothes for what I would use. Okay, I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah, but you used it. You didn't have to use it. I gave
I
it
I
to
didn't
you.
use it.
I
Stuck
did-
it as a joke. That's me. It's gone.
Rich put it
It's
in.
gone.
Oh.
That was a joke.
No, I'm good
I
with
love
Rich
this
doing
thing.
that. It's a one shot. It's fun. But
Obviously, as Joe would say, she was one of the mugly ducklings. She didn't know how hot she was until much later in life. So she's got like that insecurity thing going on. Real easy, real approachable.
I can't believe that this has turned into an episode of The Sopranos.
It really has, especially with that picture there.
I'm
I'm
not
the guy with
certain what we're supposed to be doing, but whatever we're doing is awesome.
This is good video,
So
folks.
we have the hallway of Brookview Elementary, and Benny, you've come to meet with Joanna. You can see that there are a bunch of kids. Like as she closes the door, a couple of them are looking out from their little reading areas. It is quiet here in the hallway.
okay. And besides, I'm a redhead. You gave us a blonde.
Right. So it's totally not the
So it's
case.
totally not.
Sorry.
I didn't draw the thing, all right? Give me a break.
Officer,
You could have.
what are you doing here?
No, not Officer Joanna. Wink. Hey, I got a call from a mutual friend of ours. You know, Joe, the ice cream guy.
Yeah, Benny. What's going on?
I don't know. He told me to come over. He said something about a dead body and some pigeons, and trying not to swear in front of the kids here, but there was a lot of expletives in the dialogue between
You
him
aren't
and I.
in front of kids. I'm out in the hall with the door closed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he said a bunch of pigeons and shit. So you know how he talks. You know, he rambles on, and it's like trying to put a puzzle together.
Yeah, the kids have been talking about seeing some dead bodies around, and I've been trying to discreetly try and find out what they said, but I don't want to get my students riled up. I've already called all their parents that are talking about this, and I've set up parent-teacher meetings with each of them because such subjects are very inappropriate, and if they did see anything, well, then people need to know so that it can be handled, right? Handled. And I try and wink, and I fail at it, so I basically blink at you.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, okay. Internal monologue. We're the ones that handled stuff like this, but whatever.
Yeah. So
Um,
and I wink widely.
People.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, just stop with the subtleties. You're wow, that's awkward. So awkward. Okay, so what have they told you? I mean, do we have a location of where they saw this stuff? Is it by the school? What's going on?
So because we were cutting the scene and fast forwarding, Rich, can you tell me what else I was able to gather as the kids were talking about it and as I was bringing them in?
Well, I mean, you'd have to talk to them, and you'd have to be bold. So, unless you're really lucky or willing to spin some spark, they probably are pretty confusing and not at all.
Sure. Then I'm going to stick with confusing because, yeah. They were really confusing. They talked about pigeons and then smack people, and one of the kids was doing this puppet thing, and then there was somebody about hanging upside down from telephone wires or telephone poles. And then
Why does this sound like a regular day at Babies with Knives to me?
because this is the crazy crew we have. And two of them talk about tap dancing turtles over dead bodies. I've never seen a tap dancing turtle before. Have you?
Once in a cartoon. Is there a point to all this?
Well, apparently there's some dead bodies, but I have no idea where they were or where they.
Okay, I have an idea. You keep calling me officer, and this is my third time here, Joanna. We've been through this. I'm a sketch artist. I'm an artist.
Benny.
So
Benny, nice.
why don't
Do you say artiste or artist?
artiste? You know, I churched it up a bit. Really, I just draw pictures of people that committed horrible, horrible crimes, and my life is in shambles. I live in Royal Oaks Plaza, for God's sakes.
But at least you don't live at the Heights.
Well,
Yeah,
your visits
that,
are
actually,
so-
I think that's the slogan of the Royal Oaks Plaza. Hey, it's not great, but at least we ain't the Heights.
my principal is starting to be concerned about all your visits. So
Well, just say I'm here. You guys have art class, right? You have a block set up for art?
yeah, if you want to come
Okay.
teach art class with me every day, you're welcome to.
No, not every day, just as a guest instructor. Okay, Joanna. We got a job to do, man. Woman, lady, ma'am.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm saying.
After school, my friend blink blink
So awkward.
will meet you at your designated rooftop.
Benny, I'm assuming at some point she's going to get something close to a reasonable point so we can move the plot forward.
I will meet you, or my friend will meet you at the rooftop after school, and we will figure this out.
After school.
Yes.
Okay, it's been a while since I've been in school. What time do you guys get out?
2:30.
Oh, God. What time is it now?
In an hour.
In an hour. Okay.
Yes, I'll meet you in
Rooftop.
an hour.
Gotcha. All right, I'll be there. I got to call into work. Try and get what you can out of these kids. Maybe their parents. I don't know. Well, okay, we'll talk in an hour.
Bye, Benny.
Bye.
I go
Good
back
luck.
into my classroom.
Sumus
Okay.
Patres et Filii de Spiritus Sancti.
So should we kind of jump forward to you
Yep,
guys meeting
sure.
up together to talk? Awesome.
That's fine with me, because I am going to fail miserably at trying to get any information, and I don't want to rile the kids up, so I don't want to be asking questions.
Sure. And
I could show up as
like,
Bengali and just scare the shit out of them.
don't see how that'd be productive, but you you could definitely do that. All right.
Oh, we've been
so
so productive so far. It's been
four
excellent.
of you.
Hey, we've gotten
all
some good
four
voices
of
out
you
of
are. All four of you are up on the rooftop, and are you suited up here?
Yes,
'Cause you
I
wanted
would
to
be
meet
suited
right
up.
after school. So, okay. All right.
I am suited up also in a tracksuit because, yeah, and like sunglasses. The only
You're being
difference-
so stereotypically Italian, it's not even funny.
The only difference between my normal work attire and what I'm doing now is I put on a pair of sunglasses.
Well, I'm wearing, like I said, the red, and I've got my large greatsword with me, and it is on my back, or it is going to be in my hands, one way or another. So,
I was at the back of the school. I put the mask on. The tendrils come out, wrap around me to create the suit, and then all of a sudden the tendrils go up to the roof, and whoosh, up I go.
Nice.
okay.
So the four of you meet up. I assume, Constancia, you've gotten off of your shift, and they reached out to you, and you meet up with them as well. Are you dressed as La Llorona at this point?
It seems like the general thing is that we do show up when we are on rooftops as super heroic individuals. So
It would
I
be so
will-
much more funny if we just showed up as us on the rooftops.
I know I don't know how I'd get up to the rooftop. I'd probably tell you crazy kids to come down.
Waitress,
Stop
school
playing with-
teacher, an ice cream man, and a police sketch artist meet on a rooftop. Sounds like a joke.
So, once I'm actually up here, while we're waiting for all of us to gather, I would like to use one of my powers.
All right.
See, I can't talk to the kids, but I can see what the kids saw, which is what I'm going to do.
Ooh, I totally forgot you had that power. That's
So,
awesome.
I
But
pull
you
the
can
sword
be a
off my
peeping
back.
Tom.
I pull the sword off my back, and I have it in front of me, horizontally, and I start running my hands back and forth, and I just kind of get in a trance and lose myself in it, and I look and watch the imagery and see through their eyes as what they saw.
All right.
I lean over to Joe and I'm like, I'll give you $20 that she says mirror, mirror on the wall.
I do not.
She
Hands over
All right.
the lost 20 to Joe.
I think this was before they show up. Yeah, so let's get a roll to this and see how well you are able to use your mirrors.
Sure.
You guys can hear me? Okay, good.
I
just
can
wanna
hear you,
make sure.
yes.
Good, my ping is still going green to red. I apologize. Let's build
It's been really a lot better since you rebooted, though.
Yes.
awesome.
Mwah. C'est magnifique.
Okay, so
Going
this
to say
is super
that,
for sure.
Absolutely.
And this, I would say, would be either head or heart. Probably head.
All right. Yeah, because you're trying to perceive the past. That
Yep.
works for me.
I am not going to use manipulator on this one.
All right, and then you're using your power of perception and soul sight and clairvoyance and
Yes.
clairaudience. That's 2 extra. So we have 3 from Beast Soup, 2 from head, 3 from head. That's 6.
Yep.
2 from your perception power. That makes it 8.
Yep.
Your difficulty is good because anytime you use this magic power, things could go slightly awry. And hold on, before we go, tension is in effect because this could be very stressful
Okay.
for you. Because you're delving into what many other children have seen, try to divine the past.
Right.
So what that means is every one that you roll could drain more spark from you. So
Okay.
that's a little bit of a danger to this roll.
I unfortunately did get 1-1, but I got 5 successes.
Nice. So your spark is currently 4. Bump that down to a 3.
Okay.
And we'll say that perhaps the mental strain of this, of seeing so many different images of all the children, because you're not entirely sure which kid it was,
Yep.
but you are very successful. And what you see are a number of kids, some of them watching television, others playing video games, coloring in books, and working with blocks to learn their letters. And there are a few children who are running, and it's at night, and they come around and they stop because they see this nice looking car, like a beam, and the trunk is up, and there's a guy at the back, and he's pulling a pair of bodies out, and he's transferring them from the car into a dumpster.
Okay.
And that's what you see. Sorry?
I'm focusing in on that Beamer. Can I get a license plate? Can I get any distinguishing features on that car whatsoever?
So the Beamer is at an odd angle. The kids just, you're seeing through what they saw. However, you get a very good look at the who is moving the bodies.
Fantastic. That was the next thing I was going to ask. Then I am going to, well, it's, where are they at this point when this happens? Are they, which dump and which, where are they seeing this?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if we jump over to our map, the place that they're at, they're not far from the Black. So they're near Birch and East Sworich Way.
Okay.
Not far from Royal Oaks either, actually.
Sure. Okay. Well.
So everyone arrives after you've done your divination, and what do you do as you're gathered together, our little defenders of the block?
I know where the children saw the dead bodies. I can take us there.
There are bodies. The voice from the figure that's dressed in like rags that are kind of blowing in a non-existent wind says.
Some of the children were playing at night, and you can tell that she's still uncomfortable trying to have a strong voice, but she's better at it. They saw bodies being dumped. I was able to use my my gift and see through their eyes. A beamer drove the car near the blacktop in Royal Oaks Plaza and dumped 2 bodies into the dumpster in the corner. I can take us there.
Okay. Beamer rolling on that side of town. That's odd.
I tried to see a license plate, but there was no angle for it. I did get a really good look at the man. Um, I can describe the man. I'm actually, in fact, at that point, I'm going to pull my sword and I'm going to try and just pull up the image of that man just to show them directly.
Yes, and it matches the sketch that you have drawn, Vinny.
Ooh.
And I show all of them.
Oh, you show all of them. Well, La Llorona, you recognize that person. That is Angela.
A stream of curse words come out of La Llorona's mouth in Spanish.
Ay, Dios mío, chingo tu madre.
That's not right.
La Llorona, you know this man?
Yes, we are tied together. He is the son of my mother. He is the son of the body that I inhabit.
And I start getting mousier again with her. Okay. Well, do you know where we can find him? I can take us to where the bodies are, but maybe you could get more information than we could.
I can find him. I know where he goes.
Are we all going with you, or do you need to spank him yourself?
She crooks her head, trying to really follow what she's saying.
Sorry. Are you going to go discipline him yourself, or are we going with you to find out what's going on?
There are bodies involved. This involves all of us.
I put my sword away, and I follow wherever she leads me.
All right. Well, I would imagine that I would have some place on the north side, maybe on Hillside. I don't think well, do you imagine that your son is a guy who lives in an apartment because it's easier, or did he buy a house recently with all the money he...
He's probably still pretty young, so apartment sounds likely for him.
Well, why don't we stick him in North Park? Wouldn't that be fun? So he's in one of the newly renovated, very posh luxury apartments at North Park, overlooking the pool, looking down the hill. There's a viewpoint that doesn't quite pick up South of Main Street, doesn't see Ditko Industrial Complex, and that's where your son lives. What's the plan here, Lyra?
I look at the group that has come with me, and actually I want to ask Benny about what has gone on, what he has heard as we were trading information, and
yeah, and even showed Benny the picture too, on the sword.
Yeah, he said that it matched the sketch.
Cool. No, sorry, not Benny. Joe, Walt's character.
Chilled.
So
yeah, Benny. Basically, what did you tell us about what has gone on your end? Is something that I am wondering as well.
Hey guys, that's almost a spitting image of what I drew when that old lady came in and told me about bodies being dumped over by where she lived, over by Royal Oaks Plaza.
Then we deal with this. We find those who have done it. There were more. I do not think that he is alone in this. I don't think that he would have gone so far by himself.
My sword it speaks to me. It wishes to make your son of your mother pay for his crimes. Face his demons.
It's funny because I'm the demon.
Hey, lady, can you make calls on that sword? Like outgoing? Like, do you
No.
put it up to your ear like that? Like, how does this work?
No.
Are we going somewhere?
The sword, I can see things and hear things, but no calls.
So it's like a broken cell phone. That sucks. Hey, where are we going?
Yeah, you heard of a two-way. Well, this is a one-way.
Do we travel around in the ice cream truck? Is that our super vehicle?
Yes,
Oh,
please say
please
yes.
tell me that is it.
You're
It
damn right we
converts
do.
into something.
It converts into stuff
Does
inside.
Bengali like right on top, like with the mask and the tendrils?
Yeah, just
on
kind of
top
like that on that video game, Twisted Metal. You had the like the
I
demonic
remember
ice cream
Twisted
truck,
Metal. Yes.
Love
right?
that.
With the clown. So instead of a clown, we have a cursed clown on top.
Cursed clown. Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, that reminds me of the Bones TV show and Booth's accidental shooting of every clown on top of cars because he has a thing about clowns. Okay,
It's totally normal.
totally normal. Excellent.
And yes, he is Ace's brother from another mother.
Isn't he? I
Oh
told
yes.
you.
All right, let's. Where are we going?
So you're gonna ice cream us over to North Park, and we are going to go break into one of the apartments. It sounds like.
Awesome.
Okay, so since this is a very high tech ice cream truck, you know I have an auxiliary cable, not even Bluetooth or anything like that, and I plugged my phone in, and hey, do we got theme music? Somebody give me something.
Ace of Base.
Hey, really? Oh, good. All right, punch it in.
What a great school teacher answer there, Alan.
Thank you.
All right,
I'm getting
we're on
in
the roll.
character here.
All that she wants plays as you guys pull into the parking of North Park.
I saw
and-
the sign, and it opened up my eyes. I
Oh
saw
my
the sign.
lord!
And well, so it's an apartment complex. It's not like it had high tech security or anything. You know that your son's Angelo is up on the and he has again an apartment with windows that overlook the pool. So, since you live here, I'm sorry, since you live here, Joanna, is this these apartments? Is there like a hallway in the middle type deal, or is it
Yes.
a walk up? Yeah,
It's
okay, so
internal hallways.
perfectly fine. That's what I was hoping. I just want to make sure. So you guys head up to the 6th floor. Is anybody trying to enter this place other than walking up to the front door?
I'm at the front door.
I think that similar to the way that Bengali seems to get around basically the rags. I'm going for the window, and the rags basically reach up, pushed on the non-existent wind, and grab that and then pull me up.
My hood that's
Oh,
down
spooky.
covers up my sword. I tug it a little, and it covers up my sword a bit, and my cloak covers it as I'm walking
Okay,
up. So I
cool.
look like I'm coming in from a costume party.
What about chilled AK Joey? What's your approach here? Are you?
I pulled the
alongside
door
Joanna?
open and holy shit, do I look like I'm fucking haunted? Look at this. I got this guy with the smoke. I got this lady with the wispy shit, and then I don't know what you're doing, and then I walk past.
So what's Bengali's plan?
I'm gonna go up to the rooftop because I look like a freaking demon. I don't want to scare a whole bunch of people, any passerbys or whatnot. And it's always best to invade a place from the top down.
Nice. I'm kind of imagining that maybe Bengali's at the point, right, and he's kind of overlooking everything as you see.
All very David Finch, just scowled over, looking over.
Love it. I love it. Awesome. So, La Llorona, you are able to make it to the little balcony area. and you see that your son is playing. He's a bad guy, so he's playing PlayStation 4, and it's a joke. But it's true.
GTA?
He's playing
Which
PlayStation 4.
GTA is he
He's playing GTA. He's totally playing GTA, and he's playing GTA with a girl who she's like a Scandinavian look to her. Side of her head is shaved. Her hair is blue, and she's actually like he's got a PlayStation 4 controller, and she's just kind of wiggling her fingers, but it looks like they're playing co-op in the game.
Those new gloves are pretty cool.
Doesn't look like she has gloves on either. And so that's what you witness. And so I'm thinking that like Joey and Joanna, you guys are coming up to the front door. Is that the plan?
Yep.
Cool. Knock on the front door and pauses the game, and he walks up to the front door, and as he turns his back, La Llorona, you see that the girl unpauses the game and starts playing a little bit more. But she doesn't care. Fine, I'll just walk away. And he opens the door. There's like that little chain, and he looks at. Yeah.
Trick or treat. And I step aside so Joey's face is intimidating enough to be in there.
Hey, we need to talk to you. Open the door.
You can talk through the door. What's your problem?
I pull my sword.
That'll do it.
Aggressive. I like it.
He's going to shut the door.
I'm going to try and cut the chain before he shuts the door. My goal is to cut the chain.
And I'll stick like a popsicle in between the door, so that the stick absolutely stops it from closing.
Is this what your gadgets are? They're all ice cream themed.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be awesome.
You're like a Batman villain.
Nice. Cool. So yeah, you keep it from completely shutting, but I do want to see if Mirror can slice through the chain.
Sure.
La Llorona, I don't know if you could hear, like he screams, there's trouble! And the girl pauses the game with a flick of her wrist, and she steps up, and he is he's running away from the door.
So I'm planning on coming in from the balcony. Whether the balcony door is unlocked or not. And when I see the girl, I call out, "Dejar, puta pequeña."
Wow, that's terrifying. Cool. So let's jump over to Mirror. Cut your way in. And God, it looks like stuff's going down from your vantage point. You've seen La Llorona has just phased through the door or the window of the balcony. What are you doing?
The vision of the group. All right. Well, I'm going to get in through the access hatch at the top of the roof. I noticed that it's locked.
You might pass Bruce Willis if you're like doing that. Just so you know.
Might do what?
You might pass Bruce Willis at some point.
Nice.
The Lego.
Come out
movie.
there it goes to have a few laughs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Come out to the coast.
Yeah,
laughs. Yeah. I popped the lock on the hatch from the roof, and I make my way down to where the rest of the group is.
Easily done. So we'll have you jump in any moment now. But first, Mirror, I think this is a typical thing, taking a sword and slicing a chain, getting the drop on this guy. So let's have you build your role. You're not being a manipulator. You're definitely being super.
Yep.
And you're using a tool.
Yep. So that's 6 dice.
And yeah, it looks like 6 dice. Although control magic of the sword, do you think that that's something you're using here since you're directly using your sword?
I'm about to use the magic of the sword, so I'm not going to say that that's happening just yet. I only got 2 successes. But no ones.
Well, the 2 is all you needed. Okay. Tension was not in effect because it was just going against a door. So you slice open that chain, you knock aside the ice cream stick that Joey is stuck in there to keep the door from closing. It's a shame that Angelo didn't shut it hard enough to break an ice cream stick. But maybe that thing was reinforced. I don't know.
The stick of the door.
Ice cream sticks.
As I slice through the chain, though, you see basically figments and fingers start to climb out of the mirror of the sword itself, and it looks like basically one of the dead men that he was pulled out of the car. And so that guy's just coming out of my sword.
Okay, cool. So we have two terrifying things happening simultaneously. Let me deal
What
with
is up with creepy superheroes lately?
That's
Well, it is a
your
Marvel
MO.
Knights-esque type game. So, and that
Daredevil, it's totally
Yeah.
on brand. It's totally cool.
You
Good.
know,
So
just
let's.
asked, hey, what superpower were you thinking about? And I wasn't allowed to be the ghost, and I didn't see how to become a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle while investing in the neighborhood, so became the haunting of the ghost.
Yeah, we're just gonna have a stretch goal for the
I
not
think
teenage,
I'm a little.
not mutant, not ninja, not. Let's go with La Llorona. So this girl that you're facing, she has some kind of power, but she is definitely going to be wigged out by this. So defeating her is going to be a remarkable feat.
Okay. So
Build your die.
I want to come in, and at first I'm not really considering her a threat. I think that she's just a little slut, as I have called her, that is hanging out with him. So I am going to be using my jaw
Okay.
to try and get her to leave. As she sees this, freaky ghost basically come in through the wall. I am not being a moral center at the moment, unless judgment
No.
about people's life choices counts. I am, by all means, it seems like it's being super at the moment.
Yes.
And would my body mod at the moment apply on just the horrificness of seeing something like that?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm at 8 dice. I'm going to go ahead and spend a spark, and I'll go to 9 dice.
Okay. Now, just so you know, ones are going to count against you because she's going to try to, get the hell out of Dodge and possibly stop you from hurting her. You need 4 successes.
4 successes.
Yeah, 4 evens or 4 pounds.
Okay. It's weird to look for the low dice because they're even. I end up with 3 2s, a 4, and 1 6. So that's 5 successes. However, I have netted myself 2 1s here.
Ooh, okay. So you are able to terrify and effectively take her out of action. However, before she goes out, you take some damage. I'm going to say that what she does is she kind of gestures with her hand, and a number of the plugs that were in the wall and attached to the PlayStation and the TV, they all leap out as if animated, and a number of them electrocute you. You pass through it, but it's enough to cause a little discomfort, a little pain. That's why you lose 2 spark. But then she turns and tries to run away, and you say you were just trying to intimidate her, right? You weren't necessarily putting hands on her.
No, I didn't consider her a threat at the beginning of this. And so It was just leave, you little slut.
She's definitely going to leave. She's running for the bedroom and is going to try to make her way out of here that way. So that happens.
All right. So that is 2, so I'm down to 5 spark at that point.
You are at 5 sparks. So we're going to circle around to Joey Monteleone, a.k.a. Chilled. You see that Mirror has come forward and pulled forth a Bibri or a demon of some kind and is trying to terrify Angelo. What are you doing?
So I got a screaming rag lady running through or flying through, scaring everybody. She just produces a demon.
The head of a dead man is coming out, and the body's starting to move past, and on my next action, the rest of it will manifest.
I just say that everybody needs to chill out, and the 2 people in the
You're waiting for it.
right. Two people in the room. Can I use my ice substance control to freeze them in place?
You certainly can. So here's what we're going to do. Part of Hit the Streets, Defend the Block is that the GM can offer 2 difficulties. And since you're trying to get 2 people, So if you want to get a good, if you want to hit good or 3 successes, with 3 successes, you can choose either one of those. A girl whose name is Ghoster or Angelo. You can choose one of the 2 of them. If you want to get both of them, then you're going to need an incredible success, which will be 5. So 3 successes, you choose which of the 2 you freeze up or make immobile, and with 5 successes, they're both in.
Well, Angelo's just he's just sitting there, right?
Right. He would be your most obvious target, but he's got ice powder, so you could do it differently if you.
All right. Well, if he's just sitting there, I mean, if he tries to move, I could always just throw a snow cone at him.
I'm sorry. Let me clarify. He's not just sitting there. He was running away from trying to get away from you guys. And then La Llorona came in. So yeah, he didn't sit there. He actually answered the door. You guys knocked the door down, and he was running away from the door, trying to find safety or try to get to something.
And Sparky McPlaystation Pants, she's running as well, right?
She's running away from La Llorona because terrified her. And
she's running to the bedroom.
Yes, she is running to the
what
bedroom.
I said about her remains true.
How did I know that Arnold was going to make his way into this somehow? All right, so let's try and freeze Angelo before he tries to make his escape.
All right, you need 3 successes, and ones will count to hurt your spark because tension is in effect.
I love tension being in effect. I have no idea what it is. Am I rolling D6s, D8s?
You are rolling D6s.
D6s. And I got, so B super, that would be 3?
That for your character is, you actually have a B super of 1. Chilled has a B super of 1 and a B normal of.
On the one that you sent me says.
I know. I'm sorry. I actually sent another email to that where I realized everyone had 3 in B super. So
okay. So I have a B super of 1. What else can I throw in here? Heart maybe 2.
Well, if you think that using compassion works here, it sounds like, though, using ice might be something that you're doing with your hands.
All right, so
but yeah.
So just for a total of 3?
So a total of 3, but you're using your substance control, so that power gives you 2 more. So that's 5 dice that you're rolling as a base. And yeah, you'll need 3 successes off those 5 dice unless you want to use some of your spark. But if you do that, then that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Can I? So I know that we can have, scenes where between to give more spark while we're in the middle of action.
That's correct.
And so I'm wondering if we can, and you can show us how this is done since I don't have a strong understanding. But I'm totally willing to have a scene between myself and Chilled. It sounds like the 2 of us probably come from the closest socioeconomic and heritage background out of the group. Benny seems like he's risen up above that a bit, and so he might be the one that I'm willing to talk to the most about what's gone on and such.
So this could easily have been a conversation that took place in the ice cream truck as you guys were on your way to speak with Angela. And I guess speak with is maybe we should put that in quotes.
I would prefer it to have been some time where Constancia was more around.
Okay, cool.
Speak with him.
So what we're about to enter into is kind of a flashback to a bonding scene to try to give you access to some more spark. There are 3 ways to refresh that resource of spark, and this is one of the ways that another player character can engage with you in that. On a bonding scene, and I'm not going to go over long here, but basically a bonding scene is where 2 team members have a scene where they just talk as people or reinforce each other's bonds or kind of pump each other up. It's a thing where you maybe you have a talk about why it is that you do, what motivates you, or what your pain is. It's a thing where you open up. It's kind of the soap opera moment, as it were, but it's also reinforcing the bonds between the different team members. That's what the establishment of the bonding scene does, and with it, you can get between 2 to 5 spark.
It's the arrow flashbacks that take up a third of our episode for a lot of it.
Well, maybe not.
I missed that part of the show.
It was pretty fun. did
I liked
like
it
some of
for like the first year, maybe 2 years, and then I was like,
It got a little much. It got forced.
Yeah.
It didn't feel
It started
as
getting forced
meaningful
after the
anymore.
second season of it.
Yeah, it went from revealing things to this is just the pattern of how the episode goes. I hear
Yeah,
ya.
and then they started like adding stuff that just was like, really, you had to push that. So
Did you watch the last season where it like flash forwards into the future? And I'm like, okay, why?
yeah. So
So
bonding scene.
this will be a scene when Constasia is speaking with Joey. Then where do you think this would take place, Constasia? Since you wanted to have it in a plains moment.
Maybe since we hang out at El Griense, maybe it's late one night where I'm on shift. Joey's got the ice cream truck parked out front, and nobody's around. It's just the two of us. It's a dead night out there, and the two of us are kind of talking about what's led us to where we are in life.
Good. So that's the setup. Joey, what did you order for food? What did you eat?
Yeah, I don't know what's local. Yeah, I'll have some of that stuff. The stuff in the little wrapping thing. Put the red sauce on it because everything's better with red sauce. I don't care if it's spicy. What the shit? Why you give me shit? Just give me the goddamn wrap with the red stuff.
An enchilada.
Hey, you call it what you want, pal. I just want it on my plate.
Dios mío.
And in the scene, just as the two of us are sitting around, Alice, you've got an earthquake going on, and the conversation kind of comes to what has led us to our superhero, and you guys all know that there's kind of this break between, similar to Alice, I guess. I think she and I were drinking the same Kool-Aid. That there's a difference between the super and the regular person. The super is more like the spirit of the daughter is in control, but Constasia tells you the story about how her daughter was gunned down on the blacktop not far away, and her life really fell apart. Why are we seeing this kid? Oh, ice cream cries. That her life really started to fall apart. That her husband was so willing to get over the death of the daughter, and then because Constasia mourned for her, that he ended up leaving her, and since she was only the homemaker, she did not win custody of their son, and now you realize, as you're coming in here and you're freezing, that's the son that she was talking about is right in front of you.
So I'm just going to make sure I freeze his feet so he can't move out, and maybe keep him from hurting himself or others. And I attempted, because before all of this occurred and our flashback scene was brilliant, I used the Roll for Your Party Dart Party app that you sent earlier. And I got
you rolled 8-sided dice though, so we need to roll 6-sided dice.
Oh, I was on the wrong side of it.
So how do we do the spark, by the way, in that scene though?
Yeah, so I think with narrating a scene, I would really like to see Chill respond, like out loud, like see how Joey would react to heartfelt sad story, and then I think a couple sparks on the table if we can see.
As she goes through and tells me, the tragedy that had befallen her, I say, that fucking sucks. Hey, you gonna eat that?
Okay. If you wanted to do D6, all you have to do is put to the left of the D6 in the box there, and just put the number of dice that you want to roll there, and click submit. And I think you went to the right of it, and that's why you did the D8. Did the D8s again. So
go before it.
Yeah. On the left hand side, the boxes on the left hand side of the D6 is what fill in the number. And I'm sorry if you want to roll regular dice, that's cool too.
Yep, there we go. I got one success, which seems to be a running theme for every time I've rolled so far. Wow, your dice hate me.
They do. So you did get 2 back, but you just lost 1. So you're actually up to 4 total, but that a failure. So I think that what happens here is that you throw down a sheet of ice. Angelo he slips a little bit, but catches himself on the couch. However, Mirror was walking on it, and she slips a little bit. It's going to make things more difficult for you because you were summoning the demon or the dead person. And so let's roll for to see Mirror. So before trying to intimidate and defeat Angelo here would have been just a good difficulty, but now has become remarkable because you're having to do it while all chaos is happening around you.
Okay. One for manipulator, because I am definitely manipulating him using his demons against him. 3 for super, 3 for tools, and then 2 because I am controlling the magic of the sword.
That sounds great.
And
so
his
9
demon's
dice
coming
you're
back
rolling.
his demon's coming back to haunt him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes, but I do have 2 ones.
Ooh, okay. So there is a cost there. You're going to lose 2 spark. You only had 3 at the beginning of that roll. That is a little scary. However, the man comes forward from your mirror. Angelo, after he slips on the ice and falls onto the couch, he turns and he is terrified of what he has seen. He starts trying to climb back away over the couch. He's headed for the balcony, and he tries to throw open that balcony, like the sliding glass door, to get out of here. He is definitely not wanting to deal with this at all. Now, the spark damage is that. So you tell me, do you think it's a thing of perhaps Joanna sees the terror that she's pulled forth from the sword? And
for me, I think it's that, she knows that the sword will regurgitate, bring forth the demons in a person's heart, their sins, their darkness, their the bad parts of them, and then make them face it and take them down for it. But she's kind of been very innocent up until recently, and while she was telling fairy tales, she wasn't telling the grim German old world fairy tales. She's telling modern ones. And
Disney, your books are Disney books.
Yeah, Disney books. And so this is this dichotomy is really freaking her out. It's making her very uncomfortable, and she doesn't know that she has what it takes, and that's why she's been losing the sparks, because she doesn't know if she's strong enough to be the wielder of the sword.
Cool.
To know the true hearts of men and all the bad things people have done.
That is great, and that's
mirror,
a great explanation.
Darkness lies in the hearts of man.
Yep.
Ooh, that's pretty sweet. That sounds good. Did you come up with that?
No. Shadow.
Bengali, you have made your way through the ducts, and you see Angelo underneath you. You're able to look down. You can pull that grate out and interact if you want. Do whatever you'd like. It looks like Angelo is trying to escape, throwing open the balcony door, and I'm not sure exactly what to do from that point. What do you do?
I'm going to use my tendrils to wrap up his legs and secure him.
All right. He is running away. So this is going to just take a good difficulty. I hope that you don't fail, because that.
Yeah, me too. Let's see here. The body power 1. What do I roll for that?
All right. So you've got your body modification is anytime you use a power, it adds 2 dice to your total roll. Okay. So are you being a wild one in the way kind of snuck in here to take out Angelo?
Yes.
All right. So you got 1 from that. You're definitely being super. So there's 3 more for a total of. And then of the stats, it looks like your tendrils sound like maybe an extension of your. Or do you think they're an extension of your? For this aspect, and that is lifting, punching, moving, grappling. It feels like a strength function, right?
Yeah, so hands.
Okay, so it's a total of 6 dice plus 2 more for the body modification for 8. You
Oh,
just
wow.
need 3
Okay.
even.
Let me.
Tension is in effect, so any ones will count against you. You need 3.
Okay. You were kind of breaking up. How many dice total am I rolling?
You have 8.
8.
And
Okay.
I'm sorry I was breaking up.
So I got 5 right now. Twice, I guess. 'Cause
Okay.
I don't have 8 die yet. They're on order. Okay.
Good man.
Okay. That's a 6, 4, 10, 15, 16, 20.
No.
No.
You're
Wait,
looking
what am
at
I?
each individual die for an even result on
Oh,
each
for even
individual
result.
die.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, that wasn't clear, but that's what you're looking
Let me
for. So
roll
you just,
again. That was probably
Okay.
the part that broke up and I missed. Okay. So that is an even. It's an even. That's an even. So I got a.
Did you roll any ones in that first roll?
No ones.
Okay,
I got
great.
A 2, a 6, a 4, a 5. That's
Okay.
for the first 5 die, and then I'll roll another 3. 6, a 2, and a 4. Okay, so that's 12. And another 6 out of that 3, so 18.
Nope, just the total
Just the-
number. So how many were
You have 3 successes on the first 5, and then what were those next 3 dice? Did you have any evens from those?
I had a 1
Okay.
and a 5 and a 6.
Okay. So that means you had 4 evens out of the 8 dice that you rolled.
Okay.
So you beat the difficulty, which was 3. So you need
Awesome.
3 or more evens out of that roll. However, you have 1 spark of that you lost because you rolled in that total pool of dice. So your spark will go down by 1 from 6 to 5. But you wrap him up in the tendrils, and yeah, I think that the spark damage is that you realize, like, seeing him, you know, this is Angelo. This is the son of your teammate, and he falls into the door, kind of slams and cracks his head pretty hard.
Oh, nice.
And that's. I mean, that's not exactly what you intended, but anyway, that's what happens. We'll drop your spark down to a 5, and Ghoster has made her way to the apartment. Leona, you're the closest. What do you wish to do? You gonna leave her be for now?
Yeah, she is not my concern. I'm gonna flutter over towards Angelo, and intending to really grab him and make him look, at the face of the ghostly face of his dead sister. But seeing him having cracked his head open, all of a sudden the rags just start dropping off, disappearing into nothingness. The lithe figure with this long white hair and such starts to bulk up, adding 50, 80 pounds to it, as becomes squatter, heavier, and begins to take on the form of Constasia. And she grabs Angelo, and she makes the plea with him, and all of a sudden, and so she's like, my son, my love, you have done wrong. We are here to fix this. You cannot. The stories that I hear of you, these are not the things that your father or I raised you for. And I want to make the impassioned plea, and I think with heart, that's more where that is. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. And so the goal here is to reach through to him and have him
we're
feel
coming for
regret?
information, and
Okay.
so
Okay.
I'm trying to get him to kind of realize the gravitas of tossing dead bodies, and well, it was going to be the ghost of the sister that assaulted him, seeing him get hurt. It's more the love of the mother that's coming. So I
That's
definitely
cool.
think that I'm being moral center. So that's 1. My super heart gives me 6 more, so that's up to 7. And
Mhm.
then would this be super or be normal at this point?
That's a great question. I have a feeling that she's dropped a lot of her supernatural aspect here, right? She's just appearing as herself. So I think that it's being normal. appealing to him as yourself, as his mother.
Okay.
I'm going to say that the difficulty is good. It would be easier because he's at a weak point, but you are his drunk mom who bailed on him as far. So there's a lot of hurt there.
So how hard is it good? How many am I looking for?
3.
You need 3 successes.
I
And
remember-
if you ever want to look, it's on the character keeper down at, starting at row 30.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Cool.
Oh, awesome.
That makes it easy. I just remembered.
Nice.
So I'm going to go ahead and live dangerously, and I'm going to pop a spark for a 9th die here.
Nice. Good luck.
Because this seems like something that you'd be heavily invested in.
May the odds ever be in your favor.
Okay, no ones. 1,
Fantastic.
2, 3. Only 3 successes, so I do make it, but I am just squeaking by. Oh, there's a 4th. There is another 2. Haha.
Okay.
4
cool.
successes.
So with 4 successes, your son sees you. At first, there's disbelief. I think you've just kind of revealed your secret identity to him in the mess and chaos of all this going on. So now he knows that you are La Llorona, and it hits home. He starts breaking up. He starts crying, and the tendrils are still around him. And he says, "I didn't kill them, Mama. I didn't." And he slips into Spanish and starts speaking quickly. I just, Mr. Edison, he made me do it. He made me get rid of the bodies. He said that he would cut me off. if I
Tesla
didn't
was
do what
right.
he wanted."
Edison is a bad guy.
So that's
Sorry,
what he
apparently it
mumbles.
felt that bad.
You rolled a 1
I did.
on jokes. Of course, you were breaking up too, so or that
Oh.
just might be on my end.
Don't
Story
break
of
up
my
with
life.
me, Nick. Don't break up with me.
Never. Shh.
Wow, this just took a weird turn.
Oh,
just
you
now?
want to make it weird? We can make it weird.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
You
so
should be wearing your Daredevil mask underneath the Bengali mask, is what I thought.
Just when you think I'm Bengali, no, I'm Daredevil. I got a cat mask too, so I mean, we could just play this for at least 3 rounds.
So
Well-
Angelo breaks down and confesses to you and begs for your forgiveness. And he's calling you his mom. Like, Mom, please, I'm sorry. I just didn't want to be broke. And this is a good paying job, and I didn't do it. You know, they're lawyers. They would take care of everything anyway.
We do not answer to the court of this world. We answer to the court of heaven.
What do you want me to do, Mama?
Who is this Mr. Edison?
He works for Ditko. He runs the Whisper Syndicate.
Dun, dun, dun. Is that the first that we're hearing about the Whisper Syndicate, or have we crossed swords with them?
I think you've crossed swords with them in the past, but maybe you've taken out a few of their members, rising from the ashes like the Phoenix of Eve.
Or Hydra?
Oh yeah, or
Yeah, Hydra.
or like Hydra.
Walt, come on, come on, Walt.
I couldn't help myself. All right, so now that we
Okay,
now that we
treat
got
me as a kid here. Therefore,
now that we got
definitely love
now that we got the situation in the apartment under control, what's our next move?
Well, you still have the slut in the bedroom if anybody wants to go in there after her.
I shut the door.
Which side of the door are you on?
It doesn't matter.
The safest side of the door.
I shut the door so that she's trapped in there, and then I'm on the wrong side, trapped in there with her, and shit! Open the door, slam it again.
Cool. When you do that, when you step in, you see her that you're on the wrong side. She's sticking her hand, like 2 of her fingers, into a socket, and then you see her zip into the socket. Just
Not the way we used to do it back in Brooklyn, but whatever. and I walk into back into the room, and I shut the door again.
Okay, Walt, can you please do me a favor? Can you
Mhm.
please say, come to the junkyard, don't worry, we're the good guys. Oh, sorry, come to the junkyard or break your kneecaps, don't worry, we're the good guys.
Listen, come to the junkyard, or we're gonna fucking break your kneecaps. All right? We're the good guys. Like
Yep,
that.
yes, thank you.
You,
It's you,
yeah,
you
It's
have
funny
to
because-
that's the landing.
Yep.
It's funny because like everybody in my family speaks with that accent,
Yeah.
except for me.
Don't worry, we're the good guys. It became a big, long-lasting joke with the aces, so.
Yeah, don't worry, we're the good guys.
Yep, exactly.
I parked my car at the Harvard Yard.
Yep. When I got back from basic training, my mother looked at me and she said, "Okay, you take your bag and you put it in the car." I said, "Mom, what the fuck did you just say?"
You take your bag and you put it in the car.
Yeah.
See how
Yeah.
sweet
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I understood that.
Weird.
Sorry, Rich,
All right.
go ahead.
Awesome.
So,
No
tangents.
problem. It's up to you guys. What do you do?
Well,
So I'm involved in that scene right now. It's all them that.
Does anybody
they can,
else see the girl, like when he is mid-door opening kind of thing? Do we see the girl flying through the socket because the door is
Sure,
mid-open close?
Mirror, you could see that.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
La Yorena, tap her on the shoulder. I think we might have a problem.
Constancia looks up at you.
That girl, she just flew into an electric socket.
She doesn't. She looks like she doesn't really understand what you're saying.
She put her fingers on an electric socket and she flew into it, disappeared.
I
Gone.
start criticizing him for not having a house that's been safely proofed for children. Obviously,
No, she flew into it. She left. She ran away, but using electric socket.
Mama, you should go. You should go, Mama. She's gonna
Who?
call the cops.
who is she?
Her name's Ghoster. She's another member of the syndicate.
And do you guys like when you hang out? That's what you do. You stick your fingers in the sockets.
No, better than a fork.
She's got like electricity powers or something.
She doesn't make you do that, does she?
I think I know who the skeptic of the group.
No.
All right. So if she's working for the syndicate, we probably got to shut this down. So why are we standing here talking to you?
Because I'm wrapped in tendrils? I don't know.
Yeah, you ain't going anywhere, pal.
So
So,
all right, kids. Like, what are we doing next? Who I got to throw ice cream cones at?
and the dead man that came out of the sword says, "You still haven't told them what you did to me."
No, he said he didn't kill them.
No, but what he did do.
Oh. Okay.
I caught that he didn't kill them, but what he did do wasn't covered.
Kick his shoe a little bit. All right, kid. Talk it up.
So since we are unofficial cops here,
You're welcome.
What do we need to do to basically get people put away? Like, what level of acceptance and such do we have by the officers to get somebody? How admissible are we in court? There we go.
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I'll kind of open it up to you guys. I mean, this is our world. What do you think? I mean, do you really want to put your son away? That's one question. Because if you're successful, are you actually going to make sure that he gets put away?
I think maybe it's more that I'm going to want him to try and cut a deal.
Okay.
Put the bad people away.
Well, his demons want him to confess right now. So the man, you can see that the rot on the flesh, he's definitely the zombie basically on the look of him, and he says, "Tell them what you did to me."
Cool. I mean, he's just going to repeat what he's said. Like, you guys were working at the plant and you got sick and then you died. Mr. Edison made me take your body away. I'm sorry. I didn't do anything. I'm not even in security. Not really.
Okay.
Please, Mama, please. I whatever you need.
I look up at the others with basically pleading in my eyes as well, and for them to weigh in, holding my young son.
If at this point, if it seems like basically he's confessed to everything, the dead man will come and get reabsorbed into my sword.
Okay. So if you guys, I mean, we had 3 hours and there's a little bit of post game stuff that happens. This
Sure.
might be a good point. Bring
That
things
sounds
to
like a great
close.
point.
Sure, we can pause this. Oh, I can close it up at this point then.
Oh, you don't have to. There's
Nope.
actually a little bit
Yeah.
that's part of the
Oh,
game.
okay.
So let's go through that. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's so at the end of every issue or game session, we go through a few questions, and that's how we figure out how much experience points are earned by each of the player characters or superpower. So at the end of every issue, the entire table, the GM and players discuss the following questions: Did you clash with someone who threatened your neighborhood?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Absolutely. Yep. Did you protect your neighbors from a threat at least?
Well, we are on the way to protect them from a threat at the
potential
plant that people are dying.
Okay, sounds good. And did you
I
defeat a villain? Or
I think we
sorry?
definitely did because, I was protecting the kids and trying to help the kids. I mean, the kids saw something horrific and trying to do that, trying to fix that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
So I have a
Sounds
question, guys. Do you think those kids are the ones that ran away to the magical land of Yeld after
Yes, yes, they are.
this? Because that's all I could really think of.
Crossover.
Nice. The third question: Did you defeat a villain or have a conflict with your rival team? Absolutely.
Yes.
So for each of those yeses on the group questions, all characters get 1 XP each, so that's 3 XP. And now we go around and the GM poses a question to each player. There's just 2 of them. We're almost done. Did you struggle with your normal day-to-day obligations? I'll start with Constance.
Oh, by all means, being just willing to kind of sit there as Ralph is I mean, he's part of what ruins the neighborhood. El Griense, that's a Spanish restaurant, and here we have this white guy that abuses the employees, is running it, and she had to kind of just soak up her pride and take it from him to make certain to save Guillermo's job as well as her own.
Absolutely. And then the second question for La Llorona or Constancia is, did you support another teammate when they needed you? You asked for that bonding scene, so I'm going to say absolutely yes. So that is 5 XP that you get for your character. Now we will jump over.
I am winning XP, guys. I am winning.
You 5 of 5. Benny,
Your XP
aka
mining over there.
aka Bengali. So Benny, did you struggle with your normal data obligations?
I think that's kind of like a yes and because I had to go and meet Joanna over at the school, so I had to come up with an excuse of why I was leaving the office. And in my head, I was like, if I was asked, "Hey, where are you going?" I'm like, "Oh man, I didn't. I'm gonna take a light lunch."
I like it. And then, did you support another teammate when he?
Yes, in the complex when I wrapped up the sun in my tendrils.
Okay. All right. Cool. So that's 5 XP for you. Let's jump over to. Sorry.
Cream on the outside,
animal.
cream
Go
on
for
the
Walt.
inside, ice cream paint job.
Yep. Joey, aka Chilled. So Joey, did you struggle with your normal day-to-day operation?
Hell no, I rock that shit.
This fucking guy right here.
Can we give him a special XP just for that statement?
That's this fucking guy right here.
Are you kidding? Did you see the amount of ice cream I handed out? I went back empty-handed. My boss is going to be so happy. Plus, I didn't get any superhero like damage trauma on the van at all. I am going to be employee of the minute.
Aren't you your own boss?
Yeah.
What's that?
Aren't you your own boss?
Right?
Hey, listen, Mom owns the truck technically, so I mean, But I mean, a win-win, right?
I'm closing my
got
eyes.
like that old grandma's number. It's totally cool.
Totally gonna hit that gilf up.
So, Walt, just so we're clear, you don't feel like you struggled with the data? Yeah.
No.
I feel like, yeah, it's like you just did the ice cream truck and it kind of led
You're a
to
true
a thing
artist,
that
Walt.
wasn't
Staying in
necessarily-
character the whole
Cool.
time. You're
Did
a
you
character
support
actor.
another teammate when they needed you?
Are you kidding? I made a mess of that floor. I tried to freeze that lady's legs, right? That dude's legs, I mean. And did you see what happened when that shit melted right through the floor down
All
into
right.
the apartment? You know.
I've got a
almost
question.
tripped me
though.
with his
do
eyes.
you have a cousin that fixes stuff like that?
He
Hey,
almost
listen,
tripped
I
me
know
with
a
his
guy,
eyes.
right?
I know a
Right.
guy. I
know
knew
a
that
guy.
was coming. I know
Right?
a guy. I know a guy.
You know a
that
guy,
was-
he's in the carpeting, flooring industry. You know another guy, he'll do ceiling.
Well, listen, right? So Frankie, he does this thing where he gets the whole like tools and shit. So like, we just tell him where to go. You can pay him under the table for that shit, right?
Yeah, 10% off the fucking top. You're good to go.
Right. So I mean, now you're not paying taxes on shit. The floor gets fixed. So
Well, you know
no,
how we feel about it. Taxation is theft.
I didn't support my team because I got a shitty die roll. I'm gonna blame the dice.
Well, I think you were trying.
He was trying. He was.
It's hard to have a conversation with this fucking guy.
I'll give you
Right.
E for
Well,
effort. So
without
4 XP.
Without you, we would have needed to be on public transportation, as far as I know, to get across
There
town.
we go. That's how
what?
you
You guys
supported.
got the
You were
ride
the-
inside. I was over on the top, like a freaking hood ornament up here.
Yeah, but don't you got to take XP away now? Because you didn't because I was driving, but I have a rear view mirror, right? I saw you fuckers with your hands in the ice cream box. So
All right.
you didn't support me. You stole. Oh, mom's gonna be pissed.
So that'll be 4 XP for you, Walt.
I'm
Alice,
fucking mad.
for
My ass.
Joanna, and Mirror. Let's ask you those same 2 questions. Did you struggle with your normal data editions?
Oh,
Yeah,
my
I
Lord.
think I did. I mean, it was really difficult to try and explain to the principal why this police officer keeps coming to my classroom repeatedly now, and he didn't do that before. So, yeah.
All right, cool. And then did you support another teammate when they?
Yeah, I explained to Benny, not Officer, Benny, that I would have our friend Blink Blink go and meet them to go help. So yes, I think I did.
She went hypersonic on me.
All right. So
On my
then
end, it was like,
that'll
boom.
that'll be 5 XP. Yeah, my video connection is getting pretty crappy right now. Too. Good. So that is the XP piece, and then the last piece is just feedback, which I like
I
to do
had
through
fun.
Rose and Thorn. Good.
I had fun too.
That was fun. Easy system to learn.
Mhm.
Right. Very very interesting dice mechanic, and only counting the evens or the odds.
And Walt, you missed, in my opinion, the best part of the team and neighborhood generation, because that was really fun. Because from the start we were bonded to each other. So, but yeah, I had a lot of fun with this experience.
I had a great time. The thing that reading it and then playing it as well that I thought was kind of interesting is if you spend spark, you get extra dice, which increase your chance of losing spark.
It is a bit like old World of Darkness in that regard, that your botch number was is kind of a dangerous thing, because it was always like if you botched, it was worse than so it was worse to get more dice because of that. So you have to really play
there's
with the
actually
balance of it.
Well, there is a rule, and you guys never kind of had so many ones that it mattered, but the cap on the total amount of spark that you can lose from a die roll is the difficulty of the roll. So if it were 3 difficulty and you roll 5 ones, you still only lose 3 sparks. So that's
Good to know.
I recognized that during playtest, and people were like, "Holy crap!" And I said, "Yeah, let's come up with a way to limit that." So yeah,
Okay.
I've tried to care for that, but it is a danger. I've had that same thing in the whole botch fiasco.
Yeah, the thought that I had reading it was that a way that might be is if you spend spark, you've basically already lost. You mitigate that first one, or if you spend 2 spark, you've mitigated the first 2 ones, or something like that.
It's worth. I mean,
Playing
play
around
around
with.
with that. I try to make it as low on math as possible for people, but that's not half bad.
I can understand that, and maybe those
it mitigates some of the the old world of darkness where you were like, oh shoot, I just don't want extra dice because I'm just gonna roll a 1 and I'm gonna just lose another success.
Well, and like on what I was doing, I was really high on dice already. I was like, I've got a good chance. I don't really want to spend spark, but this is something the character's invested in, and so I'm like, yeah, I'll spend the spark, even though that's 1 more die, and so it's bringing me closer to rolling those 2 1s on average instead of just the 1. And that that's something that I was definitely thinking about: is do I want to take that extra damage and because of this die?
Yeah, and I think that's a totally valid thought process, and that's why I tried to cap it. But there are always different ways to play it. People at their tables, once they have the game, if they want to try a different way to play it, that doesn't bother them.
Yep, definitely.
You mean you're not going to be the hit the block, defend the streets police, going to everybody's table and make certain they're playing it right?
As long as they're having a good time, as long as they're having a good time, that's really.
If you pay extra on the Kickstarter, I hear you can be a designated GM. So,
well, I had a lot of fun.
To monitor gameplay.
I hope.
Thanks, Rich.
I hope we didn't scare you away from GMing for us again. We're a little nuts.
It was you guys were a wild bunch. Definitely a wild bunch. I can see why you're called babies with knives.
I'd like to reiterate that I am not the baby. I'm one of the multi-nuts that are being thrown around.
I vote Walt signs us out as Joey today.
Oh, God.
There we go.
It's going to be like the end of Whose Line Is It Anyways? That you're signing things now.
Joey's over there with an arm full of pussy.
It's
no
true.
No comp dice, no hero point system. Wow.
Oh, my God.
No, it's just class, folks.
So, like, this is where we end this thing because, like everything with claws and teeth are trying to kill me because I haven't fed them yet. So, all right. So go down to your local ice cream man. Make sure you tip the guy. Don't really hand him your phone number. That shit's creepy. This has been Babies with Knives. You got like the guy in the middle who's lounging. I think he draws shit. Get that other guy with the headphones. He does good dog voices. The lady's got the high pitched voice. We like her anyway. And then we got that guy at the bottom. We don't know what his deal was. We think he's got a Kickstarter or some shit. So, like, hey, thanks for coming out and playing a game. You guys are awesome. And, yeah, whatever.
Bye.